Very good afternoon to all of you. Yesterday, how many questions we have taken? 2 questions. We'll start with the third question. Okay. Please have a look at these questions. And students who have not attended the last 2 lectures, these last 2 lectures are there on the YouTube, which is free. So please have a look at those lectures, which are very, very important. Because there I have taught you all how to prepare debtors account, bills receivable account, creditors account, bills payable account. And also I have spoken about what is provision for doubtful debts. So we are going to continue with that provision for doubtful debts. So take down this. Right there, following are the extract from the trial balance as at 31st March 2025. Particulars, please don't talk. Debit rupees, credit rupees. The first item which is given is sundry debtors, 2,05,000. Second, provision for doubtful debts, sundry debtors account, provision for doubtful debts account. Provision for doubtful debts will show a credit balance, not a debit balance, 10,000. Third, bad debts, which is 3,000. Okay, guys, you please tell me, whatever appears in the trial balance, already the journal entries are already passed. What do you mean by this provision for doubtful debts, credit balance 10,000? Provision for doubtful debts, credit balance 10,000 means what? This is last year closing provision. What provision? Becomes this year's opening provision. It means last year I have already made a provision of how much? 10,000. So this year we'll see what are the actual bad debts. Actual bad debts right now are how much in the trial balance? 3,000. So this is the provision. Which year? Last year. Last year means if I want to put the date, I can put the date as 1/4/2024 because trial balance is 31st March 2025. So this is the opening balance, and that opening balance has remained up till year end also. Is that clear? समझ में आ रहा है? Okay, next, additional information. Additional information. Now, additional information means no journal entries are passed for this. Further bad debts of 5,000. Further bad debts. Rupees how much? 5,000. B. Maintain the provision for doubtful debts at 10% on debtors. Maintain the PDD at 10% on debtors. Are you all taking the things? Required. Required is A. Pass necessary journal entries. B. Show relevant accounts, including final accounts. Show relevant ledger accounts, including what accounts? Final accounts. Okay. Yes. Now I will open 3 accounts which are very, very important. First, what account? Debtors account. debit credit. Second one, bad debts account. Debit credit. Third one is PDD account. What is PDD? Provision for doubtful debts account. Okay, now I'll ask you some questions. Please answer this. Okay, guys? Debit credit. Okay. Open these three accounts. Now I'll ask you some questions. Please answer. First, are there balances of these three accounts? Yes or no? Yes. Each and every account has the balance. So take it as the respective balances. Now please tell me, debtors, where should I go? Debit side? 2 balance brought down. Kitna hai? 2 lakh? 5,000. Bad debts is also there a balance. Is how much? 3,000. Means bad debts account is still not closed. Bad debts account is still not closed. Even PDD has a balance. But PDD will show what balance? Credit balance. Kitna hai? 10,000. So take all the opening balances, respective places. Have you taken? All of you are able to see? Okay. Shall we proceed? Okay. Now look, read the additional information. In additional information, they are saying there are further bad debts of rupees how much? उसके लिए journal entry बोलो. चलो नीचे journal entry. But before, but before journal entry, I'll also say profit and loss account and balance sheet. Okay, उसके लिए थोड़ा जगह छोड़ता हूँ. Profit and loss account and balance sheet. Extract, it is not the full balance sheet. Only extract of P&L, extract of balance sheet. Okay. Obviously, this is assets. Okay. Now tell me the journal entry. First journal entry. Further bad debts. Further bad debts. Entry. Bad debts account debit to 5,000 to debtors. Now please post it. They are asking the journal entries, so I am also passing the journal entries. Is that clear? Please post it. Where should I go? Debtors? Which side? Credit side? By bad debts. All of you, please tell me how much? 5,000. Now in bad debts account debit to debtors, kitna? 5,000. Clear? Now you have to make a provision of how much? Maintain a provision of how much? 10% on closing debtors. It means that we have to first close debtors account. What account? Debtors account को balance करो. Close नहीं होगा, balance करो. चलो, 2,05,000. 2,05,000. Tell me the balancing figure. Yeah. By balance. Carry it down. Balancing figure is 2 lakhs. All of you got it? Now, this is going to be interesting. So please hear it carefully. Okay. Up till here have you taken? Next one, please don't take it. Hear it carefully. I'll give you time to take it. Go and read the last adjustment. क्या लिखा है? Maintain a provision of 10% on debtors. What do you mean by maintain a provision of 10% on debtors? Debtors का कितना बैलेंस है? 2 लाख. रेड कलर में है ना, 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs के ऊपर आपको कितना मेंटेन करना है? मीन्स हाउ मच? 20,000. मेंटेन करना है, प्रोविजन करना नहीं है, मेंटेन करना है. जैसा आपने ओपनिंग बैलेंस मेंटेन किया था कितना, इधर 10,000, वैसे क्लोजिंग बैलेंस आपको मेंटेन करना कितना है, 20,000. दैट इज 10% ऑफ 2 lakhs इज how much, 20,000. अंडरस्टूड, क्लियर. नाउ लुक एट द वे आई डू इट. फर्स्ट, सर bad debts, sir bad debts is 8,000, no? How much? Now these bad debts are nominal account. Bad debts is a nominal account. This should be transferred to profit and loss account, or this should be transferred to PDD account. Yesterday I told you, generally bad debts is a nominal account. It should get transferred to what? Profit and loss account. But in this sum, you will not transfer it to profit and loss account. Reason, already there is a opening provision of how much? There is opening provision of 10,000. So ये जो 8,000 balance है, this will not be by P&L, it will be by PDD. So entry is PDD account debit, bad debts account credit. So PDD account debit means ये 8,000 इधर आएगा to bad debts. दिखा इधर है, मैंने क्या लिखा है, ऑटोमेटिकली जाएगा वो. आई एम जस्ट पुटिंग दिस थिंग, स्टॉप. डिड यू गेट इट? In this sum, generally, first general rule, bad debts is a nominal account. Nominal account should go to P&L account. Entry should be P&L account debit to bad debts. But in this sum, it has not gone to P&L account. It has gone to which account? Because already there is a opening provision. Means last year you had made a provision. Last year you doubted that there would be a bad debts of how much? 10,000. But in reality, the bad debts are how much? 8,000, which is adjusted with this. समझ में आया? So tell me the entry now. By PDD account, how much? ये तो बैलेंसिंग फिगर है, ये 8,000 इधर आएगा. समझ में आया? टू बैड डेट्स. सो आपने एंट्री क्या मारा है? एंट्री क्या मारा है? So what should I write here? Transfer bad debts account to what account? PDD account. Entry PDD account debit 8,000 to bad debts 8,000, because opening balance तो है ना. Opening in the sense there is a balance which is 3,000. बराबर है. Total is 8,000. Did you get it? Actually ये एंट्री पास करने के बाद उधर लेजर में पोस्ट होगा, बट आई एक्सप्लेन यू इन रिवर्स वे. अंडरस्टूड? नाउ वेट, come back to PDD. Now I'll ask you a question, please answer. Opening provision is how much? 10,000. Bad debts adjusted is how much? 8,000. Still there is an excess of how much? 2,000. So provision is still showing a excess balance of 2,000, which is obviously credit balance, which is what balance? Because credit balance is heavier. Either 10,000 or either 8,000 hai. PDD will show a credit balance of how much? 2,000. Now tell me, how much you should maintain? You should not maintain 2,000, you should maintain how much? 20,000, because 10% on closing debtors. Closing debtors are how much? Closing debtors is 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs के ऊपर 10% means कितना होना चाहिए? So your closing balance, what they are saying is, to balance carried down should be 2 lakhs into 10%, which is how much? 20,000. But 20,000 तो नहीं है. I hope all of you are able to understand this. Which is 2 lakhs into 10%, which should be how much? 20,000. 20,000 है क्या? नहीं है. 2,000 ही है ना. So you have to make a provision of 18,000. How much? Why 18,000? You understood? Huh? Why? Because already excess provision is there. How much? So make a provision. When you make a provision, not maintain a provision. Maintain a provision is 20. Make a provision of 18. When you make a provision, entry will be profit and loss account debit to PDD account. So इधर आएगा by profit and loss account. कितना आना चाहिए? 18,000. ये 18,000 आ गया ना, तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये कितना होगा? 20,000 होगा. Understood? Clear? So what you have to write? Maintain a provision. Sir, I'll maintain, sir. Okay. To balance. बोलो. Carry it down. Maintain a provision 2 lakhs के ऊपर. Debtors are 2 lakhs. इसके ऊपर 10%. तो कितना आना चाहिए इधर? 20,000 आना चाहिए. तो 20,000 आएगा तो इधर कितना आता है? समझ में रहा है ना आपको? 28,000. 28,000. बैलेंसिंग फिगर कितना है? 18,000 है ना. Now this 18,000 is by profit and loss account. So entry is not for 20,000. Entry is for what? 18,000. How much? 18,000. So बोलिए entry बोलिए. Come down. Third one. Create a provision of rupees 18,000. How 18,000 you understood? Story बताइए. How 18,000? I'll tell you the story. Opening provision is 10,000. Last year provision is this year's opening provision. This year's bad debts are 8,000. This year's bad debts are adjusted with opening provision 10,000. Bad debts are 8,000. Excess left is how much? 2,000. I should maintain a provision of how much? 20,000. 20,000. Maintain. I should maintain, not make. I should maintain a provision of how much? 20,000. If I have to maintain a provision of how much? 20,000. I should make a provision of how much? 18,000. Because already 2,000 hai. So you debit P and L account by 18. Automatically closing balance will be how much? 20,000. Is that clear? So entry bolo. Profit and loss account debit 18,000 to PDD. How much? 18,000. This 18,000 has come here. I have already done it. By P and L 18,000. Clear? हो गया? Now P and L account debit to PDD कितना आता है? To PDD 18,000. 20,000 नहीं. 20,000 क्लोजिंग बैलेंस है. 20,000 क्या है? Now you tell me assets में कैसा दिखाओगे debtors को? How will you show the assets in asset debtors? Fixed assets या current assets में कैसा दिखाओगे? बताओ. Debtors inner column how much? 2 lakhs. Yes or no? Less PDD कितना? PDD 18,000 या 20,000? All of you tell me PDD is 18,000 or 20,000? How many of you say 20,000? 20,000. How many of you say 18,000? Why 18? अरे भाई बैलेंस शीट में जो आने का है वो क्लोजिंग बैलेंस ही आएगा ना. 18,000 is a closing balance और 20,000 is a closing balance. 20,000 is a closing balance. यही आएगा. यारे डेटर्स क्लोजिंग बैलेंस 2 lakhs है. PDD closing balance कितना है? Not 18,000. 18,000 is debited to P and L. Doesn't mean that that is a closing balance. Closing balance 20,000 ही है. So PDD कितना? Outer column 1,80,000. Is that clear? Understood? What comes in the balance sheet is the closing balance. Balance carried down. देखो ना अकाउंट में कौन सा कितना बैलेंस कैरी डाउन है. बैलेंस कैरी डाउन 20,000 एक है. बैलेंस कैरी डाउन 2 लाख एक है. 2 लाख डेटर्स का है. 20,000 पीडीडी का है. ऑल ऑफ यू गॉट इट? इज दैट क्लियर? अंडरस्टूड? नाउ इन द सेम सम इफ द बैड डेट्स आर let us say 9,000. How much? 9,000. Okay, assuming the closing debtors are 2 lakhs only. 9,000 है तो इधर 6,000 आना चाहिए. That's okay. Is that clear? तो अभी क्या होगा बताओ. 9,000 रहा तो 9,000 इधर एडजस्ट होगा. Isn't it guys? So this will be let us say 6,000. ये 9,000 होगा. So ये 9,000 इधर आएगा. Correct? So excess left is how much? Excess left is 1,000. So debited to P&L should be 18,000 or 19,000? 19,000. So 19,000 करने के बाद क्लोजिंग बैलेंस कितना आएगा? 20,000. सिमिलरली टेल मी अगर ये 12,000 है. कितना है? 12,000 है. 12,000 होने के बाद इधर 12,000 आएगा. तो एनालिसिस कैसा होगा? सर ओपनिंग प्रोविजन 10,000 है. हाउ कैन यू एडजस्ट 12? 12 यू कैनॉट एडजस्ट ना. बट एडजस्ट एनीवे आर मेकिंग अ प्रोविजन. 10,000 इधर है. 12,000 इधर डालो. एक्सेस प्रोविजन है. शॉर्टफॉल ऑफ प्रोविजन. शॉर्टफॉल ऑफ हाउ मच? 2,000. And you have to maintain a provision of how much? 20,000. So you have to debit P&L account by 22,000. All of you are able to understand. तो excess provision करना पड़ेगा आपको. Debited to P&L 22,000. Doesn't mean that balance sheet you will have 22,000. Balance sheet में कितना दिखाओगे? 20 दिखाओगे. यही दिखाओगे. But P&L को hit होगा कितना? 20,000. 2. Understood? These are the various cases. Up till here, any difficulty? Up till here, any difficulty? All of you got it, guys? Yes? So this is what I was referring to, provision for doubtful debts. Okay, now I'll give you a situation. Okay, take down. Same sum. थोड़ा change करूँगा, थोड़ा changes करूँगा मैं. Okay, let me see how many of you can do it. Same sum, question number 4, not 3. Changes are debtors जो है ना, debtors are $2 lakh. 2,10,000. कितना है? 2,10,000. Further bad debts, I will take it as, instead of 5,000, I will take it as 10,000. Okay, take down this question. Now you have to tell me what accounts you have to open and how you have to open. Please tell me. Chalo. Which is the first account you have to open? Debtors. Those 3 accounts at least you have to open. Debtors account. Then bad debts account. Then PDD account. PDD account, provision for doubtful debts account. एक मिनट, 10 ले आओ ना इधर. वन सेकेंड. हाँ करेक्ट है, बराबर है, दैट्स ओके, करेक्टली है. PDD account, P&L account and balance sheet extract. Correct? P&L extract and balance sheet extract. Balance sheet. Followed by whatever. Okay. Now, since I have given you time to copy the sum, okay, in the video you can pause it and copy the sum. Now we'll start the answers. You please tell me the answers. Okay, I want your help here. Okay, tell me what. No, I'll not help you. You have to tell me accordingly. I will put it on the screen. Tell me, what should I do first? I should always take all the opening balances, and all these opening balances are already there in what? Trial balance. To balance brought down. Kitna hai balance? 2,10,000. All of you repeat. All of you. According to you, I will write it. Bad debts hai balance. How much is the bad debt balance? 2 balance brought down. How much is it? 10,000 or 3,000? 3,000. Very good. PDD का बैलेंस है कितना है? 10,000. Should I take it on the debit side or credit side? Credit side. Buy balance brought down. So I have already taken all these balances which are appearing in a trial balance as it is. Sir, why are you taking these balances? Because adjustments have to be made. Still the adjustments are not yet made. Now tell me, what is a further bad debt? उसके लिए journal entry बोलो. Journal entry, first one, further bad debt. further bad debts, tell me the entry. Bad debts account debit 10,000 ना, to debtors. Clear? Come down. I will post that in the bad debts account as well as debtors account. Bad debts account debit to debtors 10,000, and here by, tell me, bad debts by bad debts account कितना है 10,000. How much provision should I maintain? 10%. 10% of closing balance. First of all, you have to find out the closing balance of debtors. Okay, so we'll first balance the debtors account. 2,10,000. 2,10,000. What is the balancing figure, guys? 2 lakhs. Okay, 2 lakh का balancing figure है. This is your closing balance. Buy balance, tell me, carried down. All red items will come in the balance sheet. Is that clear? Okay. Now, tell me bad debts. Bad debts कितने हैं? Bad debts is a nominal account. No, total कितना है? 13,000. Now this 13,000 should be transferred to what account? PDD account. Is that clear? So इधर आएगा by PDD कितना? 13,000. So this 13,000 will come here to bad debts. So ये एंट्री क्या हो गया? PDD account debit. Transfer bad debts to PDD account. Entry PDD account debit 13,000 to bad debts. Now the next question asked by you is, sir, what are you saying? You are saying there's a opening balance of 10,000. Against this 10,000, how can you adjust what? 13,000. I can't adjust, I know that. But at least this year I can make an excess provision, no? Correct? Okay. Now provision to be maintained is 10%. That will come as a closing balance. Red ink. To balance. Please tell me. Carry down. Closing balance should be on closing debtors. Closing debtors कितना है? 2 lakhs. ये देखो 2 lakhs है ना? Yes. ये 2 lakhs है. इसके ऊपर 10%. आ जाओ. 2 lakhs into 10%, which is how much? 20,000. Now how will you analyze it? Sir, opening provision is 10,000. Adjusted is 13. It means that there is a excess provision or a shortfall of provision. Shortfall by how much? 3. Shortfall of 3, and you have to maintain 20. So total debited to P&L should be 23. 3 shortfall plus 20 to be maintained. So by P&L, tell me, by profit and loss account कितना आएगा इधर? 23. यही balancing figure है, but not the balance, not the closing balance. बराबर है 33 दोनों तरफ? अरे बराबर है ना? Now what will come in the balance sheet is only red color. बराबर है? Okay. But what P&L? Tell me, this entry I have to pass ना? P&L account debit कितना? 23. To PDD 23,000. How did I get it? Shortfall of 3 plus maintaining a provision of how much? 20, which is 23. Clear? Understood? Now tell me, come down to P&L. What should I write here? P&L account debit to PDD. 20 or 23? 23. 23, because 23 is the journal entry. Now tell me balance sheet. Balance sheet, tell me debtors. Inner column 2 lakhs. Less PDD how much? 23 or 20? Very good. 20. Outer column 1 lakh. Did you get it? So one example I took less provision. Another example I took shortfall of provision. Is that clear? Any difficulty? These things can be asked. So now I can say that provision for doubtful debts is done. ये ऐसा होता है provision for doubtful debts. Up till here, any difficulty? Okay. Yesterday, I spoke about provision for discount on debtors. Not yesterday, day before yesterday, correct? First class. I told you, have a look at it. Sir, there are 4 debtors. How many debtors? A, B, C, D. A sold goods worth rupees 100, B 200, C 300, D 400. So what are the total debtors? Total debtors are how much? 1000. Correct? This fellow is bad debt. What debt? Bad debt. इसके लिए एंट्री क्या होगा? Bad debt account debit to debtors. So ये debtors में से निकल गया. So less BD is how much? 100. So what are the remaining debtors? 900. 900 consists of B, C and D. You start doubting B. You start doubting B that he might not pay 200. So you have to make a provision of how much? 200. So इसके लिए provision for doubtful debts. इसके लिए entry होगा bad debts account debit. एक मिनट रो. Bad debts debit 100 to debtors. Correct. इसके लिए entry क्या होगा? P&L account debit to provision for doubtful debts. How much? 200. Now less PDD. When I say PDD, provision for doubtful debts, not provision for discount. कितना? 200. बचा कितना? Who are these 700? Only C and D. These are very good debtors. And in the past, you have seen these two people. They have always made the payment not within 30 days. Let us say you have given a credit period of 30 days, but they are making the payment within the 5 days only. Now I told you, terms and conditions with the debtors are very simple, not very complicated. Now let us say you have sold goods to Vinayak sir. You'll put some conditions and sell the goods, na? You'll say, sir, I'm ready to sell the goods to you. Condition is, sir has to make the payment within how many days? 30 days. You'll also put a condition, forget about 30 days. Within the next 5 days, if sir makes the payment, then you are going to give a discount to sir worth rupees, let us say 10%. How much? 10%. And if I delay by 30 days, means 30 days beyond, if I make the payment, then you are going to charge me what? Interest. These are the terms and conditions. Now tell me, C and D are very good debtors, and in the past, they have always made the payment within next, how many days? 5 days. You have a very good experience with them. Now tell me, today is, let us say, these goods are sold on 30th March 2025. When they are sold? 30th March. Balance sheet comes on what date? 31st March 2025 comes the balance sheet date. As on the balance sheet date, you have to make a provision, no? Will you make a provision? You have sold goods to C and D, 300, 400 on 30th 3 2025. एक ही दिन हुआ है. Today is 31st March. So what will you analyze? You will say, okay, C and D are my very good debtors. In the past, they have always made the payment within 5 days. So I will be giving, anyway I will be giving them what? Discount. In which year? Next year. Probability is high. Probability is high. So can I make a provision for discount? I can make a provision for, let us say provision for discount is 10%. 10% of 700 is how much? 70. So make a provision for discount. So इन दोनों के ऊपर provision करना है. So कितना है? PDD. समझ में है ना? Less PDD. वो provision for discount on debtors. कितना? 10% is how much? 70. बाकी का debtors कितना है? 630. Now, can you remember the sequence? Tell me the sequence. First, deduct the bad debts. Then deduct provision for discount or provision for doubtful debts. Then make a provision for discount. So, if they ask you true or false, provision for discount comes before provision for doubtful debts. True or false? False. प्रोविजन फॉर डिस्काउंट पहला आया था, प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल. डाउटफुल निकालने के बाद जो बचेंगे वो वेरी गुड डेटर्स है. ओनली फॉर वेरी गुड डेटर्स यू विल गिव व्हाट? डिस्काउंट. गुड बॉय, गुड बॉय को ही डिस्काउंट मिलेगा. बैड बॉय और डाउटफुल बॉय नहीं. इज दैट क्लियर? I hope all of you are able to understand. So they can ask a true or false question also, and they can give you a sum like this also. Now tell me, in this, if I am asking you a question, what is the entry for provision for discount? Same, जो PDD है ना वैसा ही entry. क्या आएगा entry? बोलो. P&L account debit 70 to provision for discount on debtors. How much? 70. So there are two provisions now. One is provision for doubtful debts 200 and provision for discount how much? 70. समझ में आ रहा है? All of you are able to understand or no? Clear? Now tell me, if I ask in this question only, what is the ledger balance of debtors account? Ledger balance of debtors account 630, 700 or 900 or 1000. ऑप्शंस आई गिव यू. बैलेंस 630 है, 700 भी है, 900 भी है, 1000 भी है डेटर्स का. व्हाट इज द लेजर बैलेंस? वेरी गुड, 900. वेरी गुड. व्हाउ मच? दैट इज ओनली आफ्टर डिडक्टिंग व्हाट? बैड डेट्स. बैड डेट्स इज हिटिंग डेटर्स अकाउंट. प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स एंड प्रोविजन फॉर डिस्काउंट इज नॉट हिटिंग योर डेटर्स अकाउंट. सो डेटर्स लेजर बैलेंस कितना है? 900. एंड टू एक्स्ट्रा अकाउंट्स हैव कम, व्हिच इज दैट? प्रोविजन फॉर doubtful debts showing a balance of 200 credit balance and provision for discount showing a balance of how much? 70. These are all credit balances. What balances? Instead of showing out on the liability side, show it as a deduction from your what? Debtors on the asset side, only for presentation purpose. So balance sheet में दिखाने का कितना debtors को? 630. But if you see the ledger account, it is how much? 900, because there is already a provision. Are you understood? These provision next year will be opening provision. तो next year देखो ना whether this B is actually turning into what? Bad. Next year देखो ना whether C and D are making the payment within next what? 5 days. You give them a discount, and that discount or that bad debts in next year will not go to P&L account. It will go to those respective provision account. Like you adjusted bad debts with what account? Tell me. Bad debts you adjusted with? Array in this sum, previous sum. Bad debts you are adjusting with what? Tell me. Bad debts you are adjusting with the PDD. Means bad debts is not going to P&L. P&L को नहीं जा रहा. Similarly, discount allowed is also a nominal account. That discount allowed will not go to P&L account. It will go to provision for discount. वो भी रहेगा ना, उधर adjust होगा. Did you get it? These things you have to understand. See, they have not asked you all the three things. But provision for doubtful debts they have asked. Bad debts and provision for doubtful debts एक सम में आया है. बहुत सारे सम्स में आ सकते हैं. Be careful with this. Up till here, any difficulty? Clear? Now I can say your provision for doubtful debts is done. One more thing which I want to repeat before I wind up this session, in the sense, wind up this particular part. I'll be continuing the class with the next unit. This part I'm winding up with a very, very important note. Hear it. They can ask you this question as true or false. You remember when I took the chapter of provision, I gave you a flow chart. When to make a provision, when to treat it as contingent liability, and when to ignore it. Tell me the conditions. When do you have to make a provision? Check whether there is a present obligation because of the past event, and from which it is probable that there is outflow of resources. And if there is outflow of resources, can you make a reliable estimate? Then only make a provision. Yes or no? And I gave the example of a calculator. You remember? Calculators sold by the customer. Calculators sold by the customers with a warranty of how many years? 2 years. 30th को मैंने सेल किया है और 31st मार्च को सेल किया है इस ईयर. Obviously customer should be given 2 years of warranty. As on 31st, I should make an estimate or no? Yes. Now in this transaction, tell me what is the past event. Calculators are already sold with a warranty. It means that there is a present obligation. Will there be outflow of resources? Yes. In the past, calculators have come for what? Repairs. And there is outflow of resources. Can you make a reliable estimate? Answer is yes. So make a provision. उधर एंट्री मैंने एक अमाउंट दिया था 10,000 का. एंट्री क्या मारोगे आप? प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट डेबिट टू प्रोविजन फॉर वारंटीज और प्रोविजन फॉर रिपेयर्स. प्रोविजन फॉर ये करोगे कि नहीं? नाउ टेल मी, प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स सेम एंट्री आएगा ना? एंट्री क्या आएगा? Profit and loss account debit. Instead of saying provision for repairs or provision for warranty, you will say provision for doubtful debts. Now, whatever I explained you for that calculator example, that chart, that is AS 29, contingent assets and contingent liabilities. Chapter accounting standard है वो लागू होगा calculator जैसा examples के लिए. Provision for doubtful debts के लिए वो standard लागू नहीं होगा, because this provision is provision for doubtful debts. And provision करने के लिए कितने सारे conditions है? 3 conditions है. There should be a present obligation because of the past event, and there should be either provision for doubtful debts में outflow of resources नहीं है. You are not spending any money. In fact, it is turning what? Bad. It is turning. That is why they have kept provision for doubtful debts outside the purview of AS 29. AS 29 के अंदर प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स कंसेप्ट नहीं आता. ये अलग कंसेप्ट है, इसलिए अलग सिखाया. इज दैट क्लियर? क्लियर? सो इफ दे आस्क यू क्वेश्चन, प्रोविजन फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स एंड प्रोविजन फॉर रिपेयर्स, both these will come under AS 29. True or false? False. Only provision for repairs for those calculator or machinery, whatever it is, that will come under AS 29, because there is outflow of resources. Either outflow of resources nahi hai. Anyway, they should ask this question in CA Inter, but nowadays, since it is there for your topic, they might ask somewhere. So I am giving this. Is that clear? Now I can say this provision chapter is done. I hope all of you are able to understand the concept. Clear? Yes?